friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing really well. So this is actually my second attempt at filming this book haul today. I'd actually filmed it last week, and then that afternoon Matthew and I went out thrifting and I found a whole bunch more treasures, so I decided I was just going to refilm everything in one take and show you everything that I picked up so I can get it all de-stickered and cataloged and up on the shelves. You know the deal, all the things. So we have something from just about every category that I collect. Not so much romance in here this time, but we have some middle grade, children's, adults, movies and shows, some ghosty books. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and it is super cold here today, and I have my my fireplace, the fan is turned off, so I'm going to be filming this very quickly because our weather here in Alberta took a sharp turn and took a nosedive. We had a huge snowstorm last week, so I'm going to get this filmed semi-quickly and then get my fireplace turned back on and start de-stickering these books. So starting off with an Apple paperback. So I often talk about these ones that have the vintage sort of covers on them with this frame and then the apple up top. So this one is called The Trouble with Soap by Marjorie Kyler. And so I haven't heard of this one before, and from what I can remember, I didn't see this one when I was a child, but my my vintage Apple paperbacks is actually starting to get quite big now, so I definitely wanted to go in and pick it up. So this is about two girls, and one of them, their name is Soap. So I thought it was like some sort of thing like The Problem with Soap, like the bar soap, but it looks like this is two best friends and they're going through a little bit of an adolescent sort of tiff. So I thought it looked cute. It definitely has that 1970s sort of early 80s cover on it. And it looks like this, oh, this one is actually from 1982, which is great. So most of you know I was born in 1982, and I actually want to start a shelf that's like my birth year kind of shelf, and put everything in there that was published in 82 for my collection. I thought that would be kind of a cool idea. I have some shorter shelves here in the library now. I still have to film my library tour, but I thought that would be pretty cool to do. I also showed this one in a recent live show sort of hangout that we did. So I got another one in the Mandy series, and I keep saying that I want to pick this one up because it looks super cute and very wholesome. It very much is sort of like a tie between Anne of Green Gables and Nancy Drew. So it's like, you know, this young girl and her friends, and they solve all kinds of mysteries and stuff. So this one is number 16, Mandy and the Silent Catacombs. So like I said, very much that sort of period Anne of Green Gables sort of timeline, and it has like the cool candle and stuff down here in the cover. So I thought these would be really cute to pick up probably sometime over the summer when I'm looking for something a little bit more comforting. I did find a Babysitter's Club book. So my Babysitter's Club collection is starting to get like closer and closer to being completed. So it's hard to find the Babysitter's Club books now in good condition that I don't have for my collection. And this is one of the higher numbers too. So it's number 82, Jessie and the Troublemaker. So this one, the spine is a little bit crushed, almost like something had hit it. But it's still in fairly good condition. The spine is fine itself. And I think once I get it up on the shelf, it'll be absolutely fine. So I'm super happy to have this one. I'd never seen this one in the wild before, and I don't think I've ever seen it like on Etsy or anything. So I don't think it was one of the ones I read as a kid. And the higher numbers, I mean, I'd kind of moved on from Babysitter's Club at that point as well. Oh, we have another Apple paperback. So this is the larger paperback. So this is A Ghost in the House. So this is a Betty Wren Wright. What does the ghost want? So very cute. And again, it has that sort of vintage border that I'm always talking about that's very reminiscent of books from my childhood. And I love Betty Wren Wright's writing. I love her ghosty books. So I thought the next time that I was in the mood to pick up like something that was, you know, actually paranormal, I thought this would be cute. And I love the lantern, the lamp that this girl is holding onto. It just has all the feels. It has everything that reminds me of my childhood. And of course it's super short. So I think this one is going to be a great palette cleanser after probably reading something that's a little bit too heavy. Next up, I found a Bone Chillers. So this is the first Bone Chillers that I found. I don't have any in my collection so far. So this is number 2 out of the series, and by Betsy Haynes. So this is Little Pet Shop of Horrors, so very much, you know, the Little Shop of Horrors kind of tie-in. Cassie would die for a puppy, so it looks like these kids are turning into animals. And I love the colorway with the green and then the hot pink. I don't think on camera it would do it justice with the hot pink heading, but it is very, very cool. So my very first bone chillers to add to the collection. And then I found this one a few weeks ago too. So it's been a really, really long time since I found a Fright Time. That is one that I don't own. I've seen a few of them out in the wild, but it's ones that I had already bought off of eBay or Etsy or whatever. And these are getting increasingly harder to find. So this is number 11. So these are, if you don't know anything about the series, they're fictional stories, short stories, and there's usually 3 in each collection. So this one has Hotel Horror, It's Really Me, and Creep County. So it has this really sinister kind of aquatic dude sort of coming up here. So I'm super excited to find one in such great condition to put in with the Fright Time series. And then I did find 2 vintage R.L. Steins. So I have one Goosebumps. So this is one of the Give Yourself Goosebumps, Reader Beware, you choose the scare. So it's like a choose your own adventure kind of book. Choose from over 20 different scary endings. And this is number 6 in the series. Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. So as you guys know, purple is my favorite color, and I love the shininess of these books. I don't have too many of these Give Yourself Goosebumps. I think I have maybe 2, so I definitely want to pick up more of these ones. So I love the purple on the back too. The image kind of reminds me of Camp Jelly Jam, which is my favorite Goosebumps book. So I thought this would be great to add to the collection. It is a little bit dinged up, but the spine is good, the cover is good. There's just a little bit of a crease on the back cover here. So definitely wanted to pick it up. I mean, I think it was $1.79, and then I had a 20% off coupon. So that was great. So next to nothing for this one. And then I believe it was on the same day but at a different store that I found this one. So I only have, I believe, 1 or 2 in the Nightmare Room series. So we found another one. This is number 5 in the Nightmare Room. Dear Diary, I'm Dead. So, and the cool thing about this one is it's a library binding, so it's a hardcover. And I just always find it really sad when I open these library books and it says discarded on it. And it's like, you know, maybe somebody would like to read it, but I'm happy to have it as part of my collection where we can take care of it and make sure that it has a long, long life. And then on the back here, it still does have the sign out sheet. So it looks like the last day this was signed out was November 1st of 2007. So very, very cool. So like I said, I found this one on the same day that I found the other R.L. Stein, but just at a different store. And then keeping within the same category, I found a bunch of creepover books that are all in fantastic condition. I think they must have only been read once if they were read at all. And the creepover, you know, they're newer books, which usually my physical collection I want to keep for vintage out of print books. But the creepover series is something that I fell in love with, and it very much has that reminiscent sort of feel of, you know, vintage sort of kids spooky series. So I wanted to recollect these because I had a bunch of them and I gifted them, which I was happy to do, but definitely want to recollect them just out thrifting and whatever I can find at a time. So if you don't know anything about the creepover series, so you don't have to read these in order, each book is a different story, different characters, all of that kind of stuff. So it's actually called You're Invited to a Creepover. And I often talk about the creepometer that's on the back of the book. So this one is a number 3. So it shows you sort of how scary the book is. So if you have baby bats at home that are just getting into kind of scary reads, you can kind of see how scary the book is. So one is number 1. It's one of my favorites. I loved this one. It's called Truth or Dare, and it has these little girls at like a sleepover. And of course they're telling ghost stories, and you can see the sinister hands on the window back here. So this one's actually really, really good. Then we have number 2, You Can't Come In Here. So this is a number 4 on the creepometer. And then we have number 3, Ready for a Scare. And this one, ooh, this one is a number 5 on the creepometer. So this one is supposed to be really scary. I have read this one actually. And then out of the ones that I have read in this series, this is actually my favorite so far. Actually, number 2 is a favorite too. I really, really like number 2. And this one, The Show Must Go On. So it's about this young girl who's in like a school play. And this one is just barely a number 4 on the creepometer, which is kind of funny because I thought this was really, really scary. And the thing with the creepover books is they don't all come around into like a happy ending. Like some of them have really scary endings and there's no like, it's not a happy one. It just keeps getting spookier and spookier. And then skipping over a few, we do have number 10, I think. Yeah, number 10. It's all downhill from here. So a winter themed one. And this one is number 4 on the creepometer. And these ones, they were stickered a little bit high, which kind of pissed me off a little bit, but I had my 20% off coupon and they have a thing where it's like buy 4 get the 5th free. So that worked out. So I was happy to pick up these, especially because they're in such good condition, and I do have a couple more creepovers, so I'm going to continue collecting these and getting them up next to my vintage collection because I really do think this fits in. And then jumping over to some movie and show novelizations, which I actually did have to do a little bit of reorganizing on my shelves because that collection is getting so big for me now that I actually had to start a new one. So we do have another one in the Sabrina series. So this one is, doesn't look like this one has a number on it. Usually they have the numbers on them, but this is Sabrina Goes to Rome. Oh, it says based on the television movie. So I guess there was the show, there was a television movie, and this one specifically, so it's kind of like the Lizzie McGuire movie, I guess, Everybody Goes to Rome. So we have this one. So I've never actually seen the Sabrina movie. Let me know if you have. I'm definitely going to have a look for it. We have 2 out of the Full House series. So this is one that, you know, is not on high on my list to collect, but when I do find them, they're at a good price, they're in good condition. And again, this was on the day that I had the 20% off coupon, so I went ahead and grabbed them. So we have 2 out of the Michelle books. So we have My Almost Perfect Plan, and then The Substitute Teacher. So I have a couple Michelle ones now. I think this is number 2 and number 3 that I have. And I believe I have one Stephanie. So I haven't seen any DJ books. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for more of these ones. And then one that I was really happy to find because I loved this series when I was kind of an older teenager, and that is the Secret World of Alex Mack. And I have, I think, 2 or 3 other Alex Mack books, but they were gifted to me. This is the first time I believe that I've ever actually seen it in the wild. So this one is Hocus Pocus. Does Ray have magic powers of his own? So if you don't know anything about Alex Mack, she has like these powers and stuff, and she gets into all kinds of shenanigans with her powers and their secret and all of this kind of thing. So super, super excited to find an Alex Mack finally out in the wild. And then I was super excited to find this one. So Monster House, which is a super cute movie, and I haven't seen it for years and years. And when I found this book, actually, Matthew told me that he's never actually seen Monster House, and I haven't seen it in years and years. So it's probably, I guess, during a time before we were together or when we were just together. But the cool thing about this book is it has like a holographic kind of cover, so you can see the house kind of coming alive there. I'm hoping you guys can see that. It has like the, you know, like it's kind of rough on the cover, almost like those old 80s and 90s stickers that you used to get for your sticker books that did the same sort of holographic sort of thing. So very, very cool. And it does have the movie stills in the center of the book in color. So this one was in great condition, so I went ahead and grabbed this one, and I'm definitely going to have to turn on Monster House for Matthew and I to watch one night. And then we have a couple in the Sweet Valley. So I found 2 in the Sweet Valley Twins and Friends. So we have number 54, The Big Party Weekend. So it looks like the girls maybe have had a party and they weren't supposed to. And then number 71, Jessica Saves the Trees, which back in the 80s and 90s, like the Save the Planet, Save the Whales, Save the Trees sort of thing was very, very big. So I thought this was super cute. And higher up numbers in these ones too, which I don't believe I have any of the higher numbers, and it's been quite some time since I found a Sweet Valley Twins out in the wild. And then I did find one, Sweet Valley University. So this is number 22, Lifeguards. Okay, so this must be like, yeah, number 22. It says Lifeguards Through the Center, and then it says Elizabeth's Summer Love. Sweet Valley High, now a hit TV series, which I used to watch the TV series when I was a kid. And the only bad thing about this is there is a little bit of a chunk going out of the cover, you can see down here. But I had never seen this one before, and I am finding that the Sweet Valley U are getting a little bit hard to find as well. So I went ahead and picked this up. The rest of the book is still in fantastic condition, and the spine is good, so I don't mind a small chunk gone out of the cover, and I'll just keep an eye out for another one that's in better condition. And then getting into some horror and ghosty books. So we did find one Christopher Pike, which is one that I haven't seen either in the wild before or on Etsy or eBay. So this is the Star Group, To Be Human and to Be Touched by the Stars. So this is kind of one of his more along the sci-fi sort of route rather than horror, which we know Christopher Pike's kind of brand of horror is kind of weird and sci-fi-ish anyway. So super, super excited to find this one. The spine is fantastic. There's no creases or anything in the cover. The cover's like, you know, around the edges and stuff, it's a little bit worn, but still in fantastic condition. So I was excited to find this one. Like I said, I hadn't seen it before. And then we did find one out of the Nightmare Hall series. So this is number 24. And this is another one that I hadn't seen either on Etsy, eBay, all of that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's specifically considered rare, but for me and my collection, this is definitely a rare one. So this is The Biker. And this one I believe is the first printing. Yeah, first printing 1995. So I was definitely excited to see this because Nightmare Hall is another one that I very, very, very rarely see out in the wild. I don't know if any of my collection is from the wild, actually. I've gotten most of mine off of Etsy. And then the last two in that category were fantastic finds. So this one is out of a series that I've been looking for quite some time. So this is one of the Zodiac Chillers by Carol Ellis, Rage of Aquarius. And apparently you could get a free Astro pendant. I don't know if I sent in for this now. Am I going to get my Astro pendant? But I've been looking for the Zodiac Chillers for quite some time, and I love the red on the cover. I love the cover, like, just in general. It looks fantastic. So this one was $1.79, and it was on the day that I had my discount. So I was super excited to find this, and I actually had Matt go back and take a look at the shelf because I was hoping there was more of these, but it was just the one, and this is number 1. So I was excited to find one out of that series so I could start looking for more. And then this one, it's funny because we went to the thrift store just on like a random weeknight, which if you know anything about Matt and I, we're very much introverts, especially during the week. Like, we very rarely ever go out on weeknights because we usually, by the time I get home from work and I take my makeup off, we have supper. It's like, you know, we watch a show, part of a movie, and then we're right to bed and I'm reading. So it was really weird. I even said to him, I was like, hey, can we go to the thrift store? So it was almost like something was telling me to go. And so I was super, super excited to see this sitting there on the shelf because I've been looking for this one for my collection for a while. So this is the collector's edition of the Fair Street Saga. So it has like this plasticky sort of overlay cover with these gates here. And you can see there's a crease in the cover, which is not surprising because, like I said, it's very flimsy plastic. But there was absolutely no way I was letting this sit there for the sake of $3. And then when you pull it back, like the actual, the step back is in fantastic condition. It's perfect. There's absolutely like no dings in it. There's no creases. There's no nothing. And then the same with the back. There's a small crease in the sort of the plastic cover, but once you pull that back and you see the step back, it's fantastic. It's still nice and shiny, and the spine is in perfect condition. I don't even know if this book was ever read. If it was a long, long time ago. So, and the pages are perfect. There's no tears, there's no dents or full like dog ears or anything. Nothing is ripped or torn. It's just on the front cover, there's just a little bit of a crease there. So this I would consider a grail find for my collection. I've been looking for it for some time, and when you look online, they're ridiculously expensive. So to find this in the wild on a random weeknight for $3 was just, it was over the top for me. So it was a fantastic night. And then last but not least, from my ghosty collection, I did actually buy a book, like a new book, and I had to have it for my collection. So this is A Cursed Collection of Haunted Dolls by Fiona Dodwell. And I heard about this book and this author through Ari Edinburgh, who I'm always talking about on the channel. I'm reading one of his books right now. And of course, one of my favorite subgenres of ghosty books is haunted dolls, or like haunted objects, I guess you would say. So I was really super excited about this book, and it's just like exactly what it said. It's a cursed collection. So it says silent stares and malevolent whispers from possessed dolls. So it says Robert, Annabelle, Peggy, so very famous haunted dolls. The very names of these dolls can strike fear into your heart. Fiona Dodwell, who has been gripped by the idea of spirit-possessed dolls for years, dives into the real world and fictional examples of toys gone bad. So this talks about real possessed dolls, but also fictional ones as well. And I'm super, super, super excited to read this book. And I'm super excited to have it as part of my ghosty collection. And then also part of the ghosty collection, I did find one out of the Ghost House series that I did not own. Every time I go to the thrift store, they always have Ghost House books, and it's always ones I already own. And even Matthew, when he came down and looked at it, he was like, you have so many of those. And I'm like, I know. So whenever I find one that is something that I don't have, it's like reason for celebration. So this one is actually labeled as #1. So this is Ghost Stories and Mysterious Creatures of British Columbia by Barbara Smith. And she is a very, very popular author within the Ghost House series, but I also own books by her, like Paranormal Canada books by her outside of the Ghost House series as well. And I really enjoy her writing, and she's obviously spent years and years compiling these stories. So I don't believe I have anything from British Columbia in the Ghost House. I do have Haunted Victoria, or Ghost Stories from Victoria, and I believe there's one other one that are from British Columbia, which is just west of us. But this one was specifically missing from my collection, and I'm super, super, super excited to finally have it. So this one is in great condition as well. There's no creases in the cover. There's no, oh, I did find one dog-eared page. I was going to say there's no dog ears or rips or tears or anything, but I guess there was one, which is fine. It'll flatten out as I store it. But yeah, it's in fantastic condition, and it was $6. So the way that it works, like I hate this because I think, like, to me, every paperback should be the same price. Doesn't matter if it's like a kid's paperback or an adult paperback. But these ones in the adult section usually are $6. So I went ahead and grabbed it anyway because I just really don't care. I very, very rarely ever buy full-priced books. So I was super, super excited to find this one, and I'm really excited to get it up with the rest of the Ghost House series. I actually have to go through and see how many I'm missing to see how far I have to go before I complete the collection, because someday I'm sure I will complete the collection, but I'm just not sure how many books are in this series altogether. So there you guys go. New book haul for February. A little bit of everything here. So we have some movie and show novelizations. We have some exciting finds like the Zodiac Chillers and my Fear Street collection. Really, really exciting finds this time around, and we didn't really even go out all that much because the book buying has been on the down low. And I have to tell you, I made a very surprising, exciting, frivolous purchase today, and it's something that I've wanted for a very, 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 very long time, and like since I was a teenager, probably even younger than that, probably 10, 8, I'm not really even sure. Since I was a kid, I've wanted something like this. So I'm gonna leave it there because I want to actually show you once I have it. It's being delivered tomorrow, so I'll do a whole I do have to do an updated library tour anyway, so once it gets here and I get everything all set up, I will definitely show you guys, and I'm super, super, super excited. So like I said, very big purchase for me, but one that, you know, I was probably never ever going to see it again, so I went ahead and got it. So I will share that coming up in the next few videos. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a question or a comment down below because you know I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky, everybody. Bye.